Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace, so if you need a website, go to squarespace.com/heater.
Candy cane, come in, candy cane.
Simon!
Where are you?
I'm just lurking in the woods.
Spying on people as usual. Alright, I'm gonna come find you, you
So Simon, you said 2 trees leaning against one another makes a good shot. I think I found the spot you were talking about. Over.
Yes, we're looking for relationships. Think of it, one tree embracing another, or having a little intimate dance.
Okay, trees having a dance and embracing one another. Maybe we can do a bit of that later on. Oh no, sorry, social distancing. Next year maybe. So, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a collaboration with Simon Baxter. Well, not really a collaboration, more of a he invited me to this beautiful spot and it's fantastic. We've got walkie talkies, which means we can be nice and socially distant, but I think if you look very carefully through the bokeh, you might just see him. Hang on, so just come out and wave your hands a bit. Let me see if we can. Hi! Hi! I've got my hat on because, you know, well, it's actually not bad. My Charlotte cut it and she did a fantastic job. Probably don't need to wear the hat. So, I'd love to tell you that I found the composition, but if I'm being completely honest, Simon said, some trees around there that look quite nice with the light on them. So, I walked around and that's those trees Simon was talking about. So, I didn't find anything. But the truth is, it would make a lovely shot, but unfortunately, the light was nice about 20 minutes ago whilst I was walking around these woodlands, you know, trying to take it all in. And then all of this grey cloud has rolled in and, you know, the light has gone completely flat. And it's also getting quite dark and the midges are out. So I will continue to make my excuses, but the truth is this would have been a much better shot about half an hour ago. But nonetheless, I'm going to shoot it because it's just a nice, simple composition. I don't know if you can see Simon in the background mooching around. He's just over there. It's nice. It's really nice to meet up with someone and just get out and go for a walk and shoot some photography because, yeah, I've pretty much been stuck in my house for getting on for 2 months now. This is my first proper outing when I'm not just been walking the dog or going for a bike ride or something. So, yeah, it's nice. And we are adhering to all the sensible, you know, we're being sensible. So anyway, let me talk you through this composition. Now, being honest, Simon did point me in this direction, but yeah, he certainly, he didn't tell me exactly what to shoot, so I am allowed a little bit of the credit. Unless, of course, the image is terrible, then it's all Simon's fault. But let's have a look. So what I found quite attractive about this scene is the ferns. The ferns just look fantastic. They're really fresh. And really clean and very vibrant, but there's this sort of fantastic depth within the ferns, the nice shadows and then the top of the waxy leaf catching the ambient light from the sky above. So when you look at them, they really have this rich contrast. It's fantastic, and it won't last long because these ferns soon enough will become chest high and then start to go a darker green and not look anywhere near as attractive as they do now. And when you look closely at the ferns, they are sprinkled with bluebells, you know, and there's no patch of bluebells, but there's just dashes of blue or purple every now and again. So that in itself, the carpet of the forest or the forest floor, fantastic. And then you've got these 2 trees that are kind of crisscrossing like this, and that's a fantastic point of interest. You know, woodland's nice when you have repetition, but it's even better if you get something that breaks that uniformity, something that's off, asymmetrical perhaps. My composition's quite straightforward. I have the 2 trees just nicely positioned on the left third, and you have the ferns, man, I can't stop. These are catching the light and giving the image great depth. And then when you look closer at the image, you have more trees, you know, lots of trees in the background, lots of gnarly, twisty shapes. So it is quite an interesting scene when you start looking into it. It's one of those images that strikes me as one of those images that the more you look at it, the more you see. And the beauty of this spot and this composition, although we haven't got the light, we do benefit from a big hill in the background, so we don't need to worry about bright sky. I've got an f5.6 focused on the two trees. That'll give me a nice soft background. Yeah, it's all in all, it's a nice springtime woodland image. Pleasant, one might say. There we go. Simple as that. Simon is just here, hang on. Let me see, about 2 meters away and out of focus. Let me pop you on focus there. Okay, have you got anything you'd like to say?
No, I think what I'm most disappointed about is the fact that we can't now go and sit and have tea and cake.
Or beer.
Oh, yeah, beer. Yeah, beer.
Men. Beer. Football. None of that.
No.
Thank God.
No, we're more excited by ferns, bluebells.
Yeah. Great location. Where are we? There we go. Great location. Apologies it's been a short video. The truth is, I've just been spending all my time looking, just trying to find images. It's difficult, there's a lot to take in. So I think what we'll do, seeing as it was really short, then we'll go back to my office and we'll have a look at how I process the image, because on the back of my camera, the image looks completely flat. And I really do think that just doing a little bit of dodging and burning, you can bring the image to life. So hopefully you've seen this image that looks quite rich and dynamic, and you know, those subtleties of light have been brought out. So I'll tell you what, we'll go and I'll show you how I did it. Why not, eh? Why not? Tell you what though, it's good to be out. It is good to be out and about. Fantastic. All right, packing away. So I hope you enjoyed that video in the woods with Simon. I tell you what, it was nice, really nice just to get out and about. It's been a long time, but unfortunately it was a short video. So thank you for coming back to my office, and you know, we'll see how the image was processed, because I know when I watch other photographers' videos in the field, I'm always curious how they process their images. So let's have a look. If we jump into Lightroom here, this is the raw file, unedited raw file, and I tell you what, it looks good. Like, it looks fine, it doesn't need much doing to it at all, and that's because of the fresh spring growth, really vibrant greens, nice splashes of purple with the bluebells. And if only I'd have got this image 20 minutes earlier when there was a bit more light, I think it would have completely transformed. But unfortunately I was a bit late to the party and I missed it. But you know, I don't mind. Like I say, it was nice just to get out and about. So this is the unedited raw file, and this is the finished image. Not much difference between the two, if I'm being honest. The only thing that I've tried to do is create a bit more separation between the background and surrounding woods and these two trees here. So that was my main goal when processing the image. I didn't need to do a great deal else, if I'm being honest. And the way that I've tried to create a bit more depth and a bit more separation within the image, well, there's two methods. Method number one is, I'll show you actually, method number one is to try and soften the background. And the way I did that, if we just go to this image here, this is my edited raw file. I've done my processing in Lightroom, not much, reduced the highlights, lifted the shadows, and increased the vibrance by a tiny amount. And this is the, this is the sort of almost finished image. And what I did was I duplicated this photo. So I've copied it over here. And I've kept it identical apart from one difference, and that's the dehaze slider. I've reduced the dehaze, and by doing so, I've almost made the image look washed out or misty. So look, if I pull the dehaze slider all the way back, you can see it almost looks like mist is rolling through the woods, that kind of thing. So two files, one with a bit dehaze and one with no dehaze. And then it was a case of opening those files as layers in Photoshop. Let me show you. Like so, and I stack them on top of each other. You can see here at the bottom. One of these images, the bottom file, is the standard no dehaze photograph, and then the top file is the one with the dehaze. And all I've done is mask them and brought through the trees. So essentially, the photograph you're looking at here, all of the background has that dehaze effect on it. But the two trees and a bit of the foreground don't have the dehaze. So if I turn on the mask, look at the background goes soft. So if I turn off the mask, it's kind of just one fairly harsh image. Turn on the mask, or turn on the layer, and we have a softer background, and that's that dehaze coming through, and it's really easy to do. I just painted through the trees. It took like 5 seconds. And I've compressed those layers, so I've got one layer to work on, which is here. And then the next thing I've done to try and create separation is I've tried to enhance the light on these trees. Now it's very subtle, but if you look closely, especially on this tree, it's more apparent. The left side is darker than the right hand side, just marginally. And all I've done is, by using the Lumenzia plugin up here, which is a great panel for luminosity masking, by using this I've been able to target specific tones within the image and essentially dodge and burn. So I'm going to switch on the first layer like so. Now I don't know if you noticed that, it's very subtle, but the right hand side of the trees got brighter, almost like somebody had a reflecting board and bounced a bit of light onto those trees. Let me show you again. Layer off, layer on, off, on. You see that? It's marginal, but there is a bit of a glow. Now I think the next layer, let's turn this on and see what happens. There we go. The next layer, I've been able to target even more the right hand side of those trees. And I've also darkened a little bit of the left hand side of those trees. So I'll switch the layer on, and there we go. Turn it off, on, off, on. So you can see, I'm just trying to enhance the tiny bit of light that was there, the ambient light that was present within this scene. I'm really trying to just enhance that by using these dodge and burn layers. The next one, here we go, the next one I'm really trying to concentrate on the shaded area of the tree, the left hand side of the tree. Using this layer, I've just darkened it down. So all I'm doing is I'm just adding that little bit of depth to the image, to the trees, you know, just trying to enhance the light. And then the next layer, the top layer, all I've done is try to just create a bit more depth in the ferns and add a bit of shadow. So I've just darkened down the shadows in the ferns. And that's it. That's pretty much how I've tried to improve this image. I've not messed around with color, I've not messed around with composition, I haven't cropped this by 1 pixel, it's exactly how I shot it. I've just tried to... Oh, bless me, I must be getting a bit of hay fever. I've just tried to enhance the qualities of the image, you know, create that separation between the trees and the background and enhance the light. So that's what I've done. I apologize I've not shown you step by step how I processed the image, but I didn't really want this to turn into a tutorial because then the video would be really long. And I've done, you know, it feels like I've done a million tutorials about dodging and burning. I've done a couple, I'll link to them in the description below so you can see how this panel works. It's really good, allows you to target very specific areas of brightness and darkness and make them brighter or darker, thus creating depth. It's fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you don't know who Squarespace are, well, they're an all-in-one website building website. So if you want yourself a nice photography website, a nice portfolio, maybe you want to sell prints or sell a book or sell calendars or sell digital products, whatever, you can do it all through Squarespace without needing any HTML knowledge. And I know this because I am useless with web stuff, like properly useless, ask anyone. But with Squarespace you can just drag and drop and it's pretty easy, and I built a couple of websites in like an hour or two, and they're decent and it's all there and easy. So yeah, go to squarespace.com/Heaton and give it a free try, and if you like free trial, use the offer code Heaton for 10% off your first purchase. Right, hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you next week where I think I'll be shooting with my new camera. So until then, bye for now.